What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and welcome to my Empire Season 5, Episode 16 recap for Never Doubt Our Love. Now, let's get into it. When the episode starts, we see Cookie and Lulu getting interviewed by a reporter, and they ask him, what is love, and what does it mean to you? And she said, I thought this was about Jamal. And they said, well, he said, you guys, love is the foundation. And so he started answering questions. They see him asking Hakeem, and he said, love is family. Love is my kids. You know, that's what our family is all about, love. And then Andre saying love is with us always. Even if someone of our family passes, that love is still with us more than we realize, which was a wink, wink, hint, hint. They asked Kai, and he said, well, I could tell you the story about Jamal. He said, no, don't tell it. Don't do it. This is our chance to inspire future generations to do the right thing. And then the reporter says, so what would you tell a future generation whose father doesn't accept him and throws him in the trash for being out? And then he starts to flash back when he was a little boy, and he was wearing a little dress and high heels, and Lucius grabbed him and threw him in the garbage, said, don't be looking like no little bitch, and threw him in the garbage for wearing them high heels in front of everybody. And he said, you know what? I would tell future generations that you're loved, and to be patient, because you know it takes time. If the king of hip-hop can come around, anybody can. And everybody knows about my father and things, so it's no surprise. So just realize that you are loved and that it takes time and patience. She said, well, I received this email, anonymous email, saying that the wedding is going to be off and you're looking for an excuse because of Kai's HIV status. And then she gave me an email, and they're like, what? This isn't true. I've always been open with Jamal about my status. And he said, this is totally false. This isn't true. And so she said, well, I don't know. This is what they sent me. And so then it cuts to them, and they're talking, and they're saying, I can't believe this email. Who would send this? And he's saying, well, I don't know. But if they sent it to here, they may have sent it to other people. And then Jamal say, I'm not letting anybody mess up my fairy tale wedding and ruin it. And he said, so that's what this is, a fairy tale? If it becomes out, then it'll be all about my situation and then not about us. He said, don't worry about it, boo. Meanwhile, we see back at the lion's den, he's all hugged up with Cookie, and he's all happy. He said, this looks so great, Mom. And she said, well, baby, I know I'm going to do it for you. Don't worry. And I'm happy for you and Kai. You're going to be my first that I see to get married. And then Lucius come in. Hey, look here, man. What you doing? I got all these reporters and stuff, man. Come here, give me a hug, man. This looks delicious, man. Let me get some of this, okay? How you doing? He said, Dad, I've been thinking, and I want you to walk me down the aisle with Cookie. And she looking side-eyed. He like, what you talking about, Mike? You saying this? Who is this? Some type of narrative from the reporters? And he said, no, I want this. He said, well, I don't know. It's just you said you don't care about tradition, and tradition is normally the father walks the bride down. And so now you wanted me to do this. I don't know. I just don't want to be paraded around and stuff like this. And then it just don't make sense to me. I'm already involved. He said, you know what, Dad? Just forget it. Never mind. He said, no, I'm just saying, we could work it out later. And she said, you know what? You an asshole. You better not let my son down. You let him down before. You better not do it again, or we gonna have a problem. And so then we see Lucius and Cookie, and they all celebrating, schmoozing, and boozing. And then they talking to Kai's parents, and he said, I heard you ain't a fan of my work. He said, no, one of my students' dissertation quoted your work. You know how to bring the music to the streets. And he said, all right, I like this man. I like him. All right. And so they all champagning and boozing and boozing, and Kai and them say, what do you think they're talking about? Anyway, did you ask Lucius to walk you down the aisle yet? He said, well, I talked to him, but he's still thinking it over. He said, don't make excuses for him. Meanwhile, we see Tiana looking sexy and beautiful, and she talking to, Hakeem about where she gonna go and to the wedding, and she gonna go with Devon. He like, Devon, y'all together? She said, we getting to know each other, and she walks off. He said, all right, game on. and so he's salty. Meanwhile, we see Bella, and she with Andre and Terry, and then we see Lucius and Cookie come over. She say, Andre, you had something to eat, baby? Here, I'm gonna give you some food. He said, Mom, I already ate. She say, I know, but I didn't see you eat it, so I want to make sure you get something to eat. Okay, here you go, boy. And Terry, now don't you forget, you can go ahead and make that leap. You're looking all beautiful and everything, Terry. You can go ahead. He said, Mom, please. She said, I'm just saying, you can go ahead. Y'all don't got to be, he ain't got to be the only ones getting married. You can go ahead and make that extra step. And so she blushing and everything. And then Lucius said, come on, that's enough for you. You had enough to drink. She said, come here, boy, get my drink. He said, look, I'm sorry about that. We see Becky looking like a chocolate cupcake and gold shrink wrap talking to Lucius. He said, look, the feds, we need to hurry up and do something before this gets out about the tour off. And he said, yeah, I know. She said, yeah, we need to get this tour back on track or else the streets is going to be talking. So I don't know. What's your plans? Shoot, I don't know. Right now, I'm about to get some of these hors d'oeuvres, you know what I'm saying? So meanwhile, we see later on, they all sitting and talking and everything, and Andre pull out this present. He say, here, this is for you. And then he opens it up. He said, thanks, this is I appreciate it. He opened it up. It's these cufflinks, and he said, oh, thank you. And then Lucius say, those are my dad's cufflinks, Andre. You used to never let go of these. What's going on? Well, I think it's time to pass them on. And Cookie say, hey, there's some old, some new, some boss, some blue, girl, you got it here. He say, thanks, man. He said, no problem. And so Lucius is looking like, something's kind of fishy. And then Aunt Pearl come in and she say, hey, Miss Cookie, we got Mr. Damon Crosses in here. And he said, hey, everybody, I'm sorry to come unannounced, but my art broker found something that I wanted to bring to you guys. And so they all looking kind of suspicious, like, what the hazy? And they say, man, I knew you guys may want this back. And so I know, it would be important. And I know how it is when you have something special and you want to get it back. So, and Cookie looking a little salty. He said, and Andre, congrats on your wedding in front of the world. I appreciate, you doing that. He said, oh man, thank you. And you know what? Let me, I know it's late, but let me invite you to the wedding. He said, oh, okay, thank you. And they said, well, look here, man, I'm sure he got other things planned. And she said, yeah, Andre, he a busy man. He said, you know what? I'd be honored. It's always good to find somebody special and then you hold on to it. And Cookie like, okay, shots fired. Meanwhile, we see the bachelor party looking like RuPaul's Drag Race. And so they all over there, Becky shaking, about to come out that shrink wrap. Andre and everybody laughing. And then they say, who is this dude? Why is he here? And it's Kingsley. And Andre say, hey, I invited him. And so he said, why are you here? And he said, hey, congratulations, man. I just want to say, congrats. And then Andre said, hey, look, he's a lion. He's our brother. We need to accept him. Meanwhile, we see these little dudes, man, I don't know what this is. And they bring this little chair for Jamal. And Becky like, go ahead, better go and get in there. We got surprises tonight. And then everybody getting lap dances. He like, I don't want this. And Becky like, you better go ahead before I get up in that chair. Yeah, they want some of this right here. Yeah, I got Meals on Wheels, baby. And so then these dudes start dancing and shit for him. And then Becky starting to back that caboose up and everything on these little strippers, and this one little dude is dancing and gyrating. Becky started gyrating. She like, yeah, you can come get some of this, man. This is a snack attack, baby. Let's go. And so then the dude is dancing, and then he started talking, and Jamal like, I know that voice. And then he pulled off the mask because you couldn't see who it was, and then all you saw was teeth. And then we realized it was Kai. Next up, we see later on that Angie is hard at work at her desk when all of a sudden Cosby Jr. comes in and drops the paper. He say, hey, look, this is a judge injunction that your little raid on the tour is over. Okay, you didn't find anything. It's time to move on. She said, how you do this? He said, don't worry. And I know what you up to. It's time to move on. It's over. And so meanwhile, back at the little party, we see Kai and Jamal all lovey-dovey, hugged up, laughing and whatever. And he's saying, so what about this status? He said, look, don't worry about it, boo. I'm not gonna let anything ruin this. Now I got a party to get back to. He said, all right, baby. And so next thing you know, they all talking or whatever. And so you see Kingsley, and he's talking to Andre, and then Hakeem is on the phone trying to find a date, and he like, man, if you so worried about Tiana, why are you still all in this about? They said, man, stay out of my business, man. And then Jamal like, yeah, you got a tape recorder, you know you always like to ruin lion functions. He say, no, not really. But he said, so what you gonna do? He said, well, you know I'm a real lion. He said, see what I mean? You can't be trusted. And Andre like, come on, man. We need to squash that. We're a family now. And he's the oldest. We got to respect that. And he said, so are you up to something? He said, I don't know. And then Andre say, see, come on, man. You're supposed to be right. And he said, see, he's literally telling you we can't trust him. He like, come on, Kingsley. We need to get this squashed, man. I need you, man. Can you hold it down for us? He said, yeah, I could do that. And so Andre trying to pass the mantle with the oldest on to Kingsley. Meanwhile, we see Lucius sipping on a little kitty cocktail in his office when Cookie come in. He say, you know what? It's real funny how Damon Cross had this painting, huh? She said, you know what? Just leave it alone, boy. Now, what's up? You ain't worried about that painting. You worried about Jamal. He said, no, we worked that out. She said, no, what you ain't gonna do is let my son down again, or else we gonna have a problem, okay, boy? And so he's sitting there looking salty because now he don't want to mess up with his little, woman and a happy wife, happy life. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, we see Jamal, and he's trying to practice his vows with Becky while she's squashing the couch down, wearing her big drawers. And so he's sitting there. She like, you know what? It's giving me it should be giving me Destiny's Child, but it's more like B2K. And anyway, what you trying to do? Why don't you just keep it real? And then he look and he see some hickeys over there. And he like, what is this? They was sucking on you? She say, hey, look, I got enough to go around, okay? I'm an overgrown ass woman. I got enough. I got, a picnic, barbecue, buffet, all in one, okay? They can all get some of this if they want to, all right? Don't play with me, shoot. And obviously he wanted some of this Jell-O pudding, all right? And so he laughing. He like, all right, Becky. She like, shoot, I can't help it, shoot. I'm sweet to eat, baby, yeah. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we see Lucius coming out of Empire looking like an old-ass T.I. wannabe, and he talking on the phone when all of a sudden he get ambushed by these reporters, and they asking about the gay wedding and how he feel about that. He's like, look here, man, I'm just sitting here trying to support my son, man, that's it. And then Angie say, excuse me, Lucius Lyon, we need to have a few words. Come with me, please. He like, oh, man. Meanwhile, back at the Lions there, we see Hakeem, and he on the phone trying to find a date, and he looking at porn stars. And then Maya like, look, you don't want to bring a porn star unless you want Tiana to think you got chlamydia or something. What you need to do is I'll go with you. And by the way, I make damn good arm candy, and yeah, she is sexy. So he bust out a nice little smile with them little water lips. Meanwhile, we see Lucius, and he talking with Angie, and she said, you know, Lucius, I just wanted to talk to you because I just wanted to get some information about Damon Cross and his Panama money. He said, who? She said, look, don't play stupid. I could go down to the wedding and I could just get all the lions all at once. That would just be so easy for me. And I can just get all my questions answered that way. Or you could help me right now. Meanwhile, we see Cookie, and she talking with Sir Sweets, Lil Suge, and she's talking about the wedding plans. And then next thing you know, Damon Cross come in. He like, Cookie, how you doing? And she like, what are you doing here? And so then he said, well, I mean, you could say, okay, hey, thanks for coming. You look good. I mean, what's up? She say, no, we don't need none of that. We need to talk. And so then they go out into the lobby, and she say, so why did you come here? And he said, what do you mean? I was invited. What I was supposed to do? Say no? She said, yeah, you supposed to say no, boy. And don't, he said, I'm here for you. She said, what? No, don't do that. It ain't no us. He said, look, Cookie, you said that it was no us. You gave that speech, and it wasn't right, but I think it was nothing more right. And she said, excuse me, we can't be doing this. You need to leave right now. You need to go. Okay. It is no us. And so he turns and he's leaving. And as he's walking out, she turns around. And next thing you know, she sees Jamal was staring at her from the corner, peeping around corners. And so she like, Jamal, hey baby, hold on. And she go chasing after him. He want to walk away. And she like, Jamal, let me explain. He said, no, mom, what was that? Tell me, what is going on? What is that? She said, look, when Andre was going through his thing, I just needed somebody to talk to, and he was there for me. Lucius didn't understand, but there is no us. He like, so wait a minute, I thought you all were good. She said, look, marriage is different, and you're about to find out, and you'll see. He said, wait a minute, don't do that, Mom. Don't wish that on me. Not on this day. I'm sorry. And he walks away. And so now she looking a little salty like, oh my goodness. Meanwhile, Lucius is talking with Angie and she's saying, so, let's make this easy. Why don't you help me? And we can get this done. Really, I come to you first because I'm a fan. He said, really? You a fan? She said, yeah, I am. I hate to say it, but Snitch Bitch was my jam. So you either tell me what's going on with Damon Cross or you'll wish that you did when he gets the same deal. He say, well, look here. If you think that Snitch Bitch was your jam, then you should know that that's something I ain't about to go down with. And I'm realizing I'm missing my son's most important day. So if you want to come and talk to all of us at the wedding, then you should also listen to I Shot a Fed. And then you'll see that ain't a good idea, man. Okay? I gotta go. And meanwhile, we see Jamal and he getting all upset. Where is he? Okay, I knew I shouldn't have asked him to walk down the aisle. I am pissed. I just want him to know I am not that little boy he threw in the garbage can no more. She said, hold on, baby. I'ma call him. And then Lucius come in. He like, I'm here. They said, what happened? He said, the feds picked me up. Can you believe that? They like, what? Cookie say, what, boy? And so he said, no, don't worry about it. What I'm here for is to walk my son down the aisle. I almost missed being here for you on your day. And I realized that. He said, I don't know. I didn't know what to think. I thought you was, he said, I know what you thought. You thought I was ashamed of you, but I'm ashamed of me. Now come on, let's go. And so next thing you know, they leave out. We see Bella as the flower girl. And then we hear and see Shaka Khan singing at the wedding. And so she's letting them pipes blow. She's sounding good, looking good, singing or whatever. And then we see Kai walking with his waterhead daddy and his mama. And he all smiles with his little head, got his shine on. And he all happy and everything. His dad head on swole. And then we see Jamal walking with Lucius and Cookie on each arm, and Cookie all happy and stuff for him, smiling. He all happy and smiling, ready to be with his little sugar bear. And so then Lucius give him a hug, and everybody's watching as he gets ready to go up to the altar and Shaka Khan singing. And so then she's wrapping up her little solo. Everybody's sitting there smiling, loud, and happy for him. And then as she walks and she's done, they say Shaka Khan. Then they say Shaka Khan. They say Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. He start busting out the Cabbage Patch, looking real suspect. And so she like, okay. And then she leave. Everybody smiling or whatever. And so everybody happy. And so as she leave, then Becky say, now I want to say, before we get started, anybody here that wants to stand up and have anything to say about why these two should not get married, y'all better sit down and eat y'all rice cakes, because we about to have something beautiful up in this bitch. I mean, I'm sorry. They like, Becky, it's a church. I'm sorry, in this piece. Anyway, she looking like a big glitter ball, marshmallow snow puff. And so we see they all getting ready to do the little nuptials, and Kai, he's starts reading, and he's like, I loved you and met you and saved you from a creeper, and then you were bragging. And he said at the studio, he said, of course it worked, obviously. And then we see Terry and Tiana looking beautiful as ever in the front row, and then Becky sitting there looking like a pink glitter disco ball, and she says, okay, Jamal, it's your turn. And he pulls out his little card, the speech he been rehearsing, and then Kai says, you know what, I can't do this. And Kai about to cry, everybody looking all suspect, like, what is going on? And even Tiana was looking beautiful and a little confused. And so he said, calm down, you guys, it's not like that. Jeez, I'm just saying, I just want to read from the heart, Kai. I don't want to read some cookie cutter speech. And so he says, you know, love and marriage is not perfect. It's messy. And let's not be as messy as our parents, the Lions. But I promise that I'll be 30% messy if you be 30% with me. And Terry's looking all beautiful, and Tiana is all touched. And then he's saying, so what do you say? We can have something beautiful together. And he said, yeah, okay. And so he said, I guess we're married. And Becky and them, they smile. Becky like, hold up, wait, I'm the one that say that. Will you exchange the rings? And so then they take the rings off, and then they start fingering each other with the rings, and giving each other the rings, finger bang real quick. And then next thing you know, everybody's all happy and getting touched. And she say, I will now pronounce you, Kai and Jamal, husband and husband. In the power vested in me, you are now married. And then they begin to smooch and everything, and Lucius and Cookie, everybody looking, their parents, everybody is all touched. And while they sitting there hugged up, they say, you may now jump the broomstick. And so Andre lays it down. They wanted it standing up, but he laid it down, and then they jumped over it. And then they look, and he tried to look like he was tough, while Kai all crying, looking like a little booger bear over here. And so everybody's all happy, applauding for him and stuff. They walk away, Becky clapping, Hercules, Hercules, oh, I'm so touched, that's so beautiful. And as they walk away, you know, everybody in the place is giving them a standing ovation. Meanwhile, the reception, Winter's looking cute, singing or whatever, sounding like a soul sister, and they having their little first wedding couple, married couple dance. And so Andre and Terry is looking on, Lucius and Cookie's looking on. We see Devon and Tiana, as everybody's all admiring their little first dance, and then it's over. He blow a little kiss to Winter, and then everybody else join in. The reporter say, that was so beautiful. He said, you know what, I've been thinking, and I want everybody to know about the status. It's our chance to let it be known. And she said, are you sure? He says, Jamal says, you don't have to do that. He said, no, it's fine. I don't want to hide anything. We can just let it be known. It's all right. We're married. I love you. Go ahead. You can print whatever you want to print. And then she was like, okay, that's very brave of you. Then we see Cookie say, let me talk to him, baby. Hey, baby, let me dance with you. I'm so proud of you, baby. You doing so good, and you married now. He said, Mom, I'm sorry. I understand how things go. And so then they hug, and everybody's happy. Meanwhile, we see Maya looking sexy as arm candy for Hakeem, and he says, you know what? It's something I got to do. She like, you don't have to go over there. He's like, no, it's something I need to handle. And he goes over there, and he's looking at Tiana with Devon and his baby. And so she over there eating cake, even though she already sweet enough. And so he walks over there, and he like, excuse me, we got a problem right now. And Devon like, look, man, Tiana told me you might have a problem, and I just want to say it ain't nothing like that. He said, hey, I ain't had a dance with my girl yet. Hey, baby, you want to come dance with daddy? And she smile, and then Tiana smile, and then they go and dance. And, you know, it seemed like everything all good. And she say, well, looks like that's okay, and that's over. You want to go and get a drink? He like, yeah, that's cool. Meanwhile, we see Cookie and Lucius dancing, and she say, I'm so proud of you for being there for our son. You did a good job, baby. And he say, oh, yeah, well, I just realized that I need to be there for him, and you were right. And then Kingsley come, he said, Lucius, this was great, and I want to thank you guys. You did a great job. She said, well, yeah, you know what? I still don't agree with everything you did, but you better watch it or I'll be all over you, and I'm going to welcome you anyway. He said, well, yes, ma'am. Thank you. And as he walk away, Lucius said, hey, man, that was her way of saying that she care about you now and that you accepted. He said, all right. And Andre, he did the same thing. He basically welcomed me in and asked me to take the mantle of being the eldest, and I appreciate that. He said, oh, okay. Meanwhile, we see Cookie, and she going to talk with Terry. She like, hey, Terry, how you doing, baby? When I was talking to you earlier, I didn't know. She said, oh, that was just so beautiful, Cookie, that wedding. She said, I know, but when I talked to you at the house about maybe you and Andre getting married, I don't know. You was kind of quiet and blushing. What's going on? You ain't got to be here out of obligation. She said, oh, no, Cookie. I love Andre more than I love any man I thought I could. And I really want to be here for him. It's just that, Cookie, I'm pregnant right now. And I don't know. It's just, I'm so happy. But don't tell Andre. And Cookie like, what? You pregnant? That's beautiful. Why you don't want me to tell him? She said, I just don't want to tell him right now. Please, just don't tell Andre. And so Cookie, she got a little upset about that. But meanwhile, we see Lucius, and he looking for Andre. Andre sitting by himself all quiet. And he like, hey, man, what's going on? Why you here by yourself all quiet? He say, oh, Pop, I'm just sitting here trying to relax. He said, is everything okay? Something ain't right, is it? He said, no, everything's fine. He said, well, look, you used to always guard those cufflinks, and now you get passing it on. And Kingsley told me that you want him to take the leadership of the eldest. So it's like you trying to make way and pass it on like you got something going on. He said, Pop, I'm not doing too good. He said, no, that's not right. I was there. The doctor said your cancer is gone. You're doing good. He said, no, Pop, it's not that. The drugs, they ruined my heart, and I need a heart transplant. The doctor say I only got a few more months to live. He like, no, man, this ain't right. I'm not buying that. He say, it's true, Pop. I'm not going to make it. I'm done. And then he's all quiet and thinking, and he like, no, we're lions. We can make it. He said, Pop, it's okay. I'm going to live the way I want to live, and I'm going to go out the way I want to go out. And he like, wait a minute. What you mean? What you saying, son? He say, I decided I'm going to take my own life, and I'm going to just go out the way I want to. He like, wait a minute. No. He say, yeah, Pop, I've already made my decision. This was his day, but I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do. He like, no, you are lions. We fight. You can beat this. He say, Pop, it ain't no beating this, okay? I'm done. I'm going to live the way I want to live, and I'm going out the way I want to go out. And that left Lucius with a little sad taste in his mouth, because now he was happy for Jamal, but now he's sad for Andre. And so it's making it seem like it's too obvious that Andre is going to be the one in the casket. One thing that they haven't addressed, though, since this second half of the season came, is that casket issue. They have not shown or alluded to one iota of that. It's like it's been all but forgotten. Now, they do say it when the commercials for the next episode come up. It's only a couple episodes left till we find out, but they haven't mentioned it in the show. So we'll see. As far as Jamal goes, this was his last episode appearance for this season. I guess they're going to say him and Kai went off on a honeymoon or something. And then we'll see maybe if they get this season renewed, because so far they don't have a contract for next season. So we'll see. And as far as who's in the casket, it's making it a little too obvious that it's Andre. And sometimes they like to pull a 180 and flip the script. So we'll see who it is. If it was Andre, Cookie, and Hakeem and everybody would have still been standing next to Lucius crying over that casket. It wouldn't have just been him and Becky. So I still think that it may be Kingsley now and not Andre. At first I thought it was Andre, but now I'm starting to think it's Kingsley. So I don't know. I want to thank everybody that support my work at patreon.com/Jaymoorereviews. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like. Peace, and I'm out.